Starcasting to you from the City of Angels. Hi, everyone. My name is Kiris. Thank you so much for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. Astrology is the eternal, indestructible superpower of the cosmos. And if you're looking for the force and freedom to make your own choices in life, to live the life that you want to live, then you've come to the right place. All you have to do is look up and look within, as above, so below. This is our astrology for the week beginning Sunday, November 27th through Saturday, December 3rd, 2022. Let's journey with astrology and explore how to connect with the stars, the planets, the energies for our new week ahead. Hi, everyone. Now we've got the sun. We're starting off the week with the sun in mutable fire Sagittarius. This is a time of change. Whenever we look at the mutable signs of the zodiac, this is when we are not completely out of one season. We're not fully out of autumn yet. We're not completely into the next season, winter solstice, wintertime. Everything is morphing, it's moving, it's shifting, it's changing. And we're looking at the changes taking place with the solar ingress, with the sun in mutable fire Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is increase, it's advancement. And what we are not only moving and shifting with during this time, but with Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter, moving forward in the area of what you need to store up for the winter. Mutable fire Sagittarius is so important during this time and season because we need the heat. We need the increase. When we're fully into winter, that is the time of year when things are underneath. They're healing. This isn't the conditions. It's not the conditions for growth when we are in the dead of winter. So this Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter, which is good luck and blessings, the greater benefic Jupiter, which wants to give good luck and blessings. This is the time when we make the changes mutable, when we morph and make the changes to bring in all of the things that we need as we approach the winter solstice. Now, Jupiter, as you know, is direct. It's still in its home sign of Pisces. This is very favorable for helping with fertility, with growth as we move towards the winter solstice. Now, also, as we're starting off the week, the moon is in her detriment. The moon is in Capricorn. Capricorn is a nighttime nocturnal sign of the zodiac. The moon in Capricorn is her exile. She's the furthest away from her natural home placement. And the moon in Capricorn makes a sextile to Neptune in Pisces, a conjunction to Pluto in Capricorn. This is releasing and facing the fears and blocks that perhaps stop us from achieving, because Capricorn, if nothing else, Capricorn and Saturn wants success and achievement. Also, we have Mercury in its detriment, making an inconjunct aspect to Uranus in Taurus. Now, this aspect here with Mercury in Sag, which doesn't know when to just stop making their point. You're lucky if you get a word in edgewise with Mercury and Sagittarius. Their own mouth and inability to know when to quit can sabotage so many wonderful things and opportunities with Mercury and Sagittarius. And if you're involved or married to a Mercury and Sagittarius, I bet you've never practically completed one sentence. It just keeps going and going and going. Now, the Mercury and Sagittarius is making an inconjunct aspect to Uranus in Taurus, ruled by Venus. Uranus is a divorce planet. It can be an abrupt separation. So the adjustments, the inconjunct aspect is adjustments and changes little things that mean so much that need to change in the area of communication with your loved one, meaning your husband, your wife, your partner. This is a romantic situation where the moving forward, the bringing in increase potentially is directly connected to the cosmic energy as far as how we communicate with each other in relationship. That's what that means. Now, the Mercury and Sagittarius can think that they are the law or lay down the law because Sagittarius rules over the courts and law. So this is a situation here, a cosmic energy that is about working out how someone in the relationship, maybe it's both people in the relationship, need to listen more and try to understand than just laying down the bottom line and not hearing the other person out. If not, then that Uranus in Taurus, and Taurus is fixed earth Taurus, something that seems to never change. It can, and very abruptly, if these issues are not addressed and worked on. Then we have the moon in Capricorn making a sextile to Jupiter in Pisces. This can soften things down a bit, but on Sunday, November 27th, then we have the moon entering Aquarius. Now, the moon in Aquarius, as we're starting off the week and going into Monday, is very uncomfortable. The moon is nocturnal. It's of the nighttime. The moon is mysterious. She's emotional. She's soft. She makes changes. And so with the moon, as we move into Monday, the moon's day, the moon in Aquarius is feeling very blocked because Aquarius is with Saturn, and Saturn rules over Aquarius. And Aquarius is communication. That's what air signs do. They have to move and be free and be able to communicate. So as we move into the beginning of the week, and the moon is in Aquarius where she's not feeling comfortable there. Aquarius is diurnal, it's daytime. The moon functions at its happiest nocturnally. And so on this Monday, November 28th, we've got the moon in Aquarius making a sextile to the sun in Sagittarius. The moon makes a sextile to Chiron in Aries, trying to express its identity. The moon in Aquarius makes a sextile to Venus in Sagittarius, wanting to move forward in love, wanting to expand on love. The moon in Aquarius makes a square aspect to Uranus and Taurus. There's the block right there. The moon in Aquarius makes a sextile to Mercury in Sagittarius, still trying to get her needs heard, understood, and met in the area of communication. The moon in Aquarius makes a trine flow, an air trine flow to Mars retrograde in Gemini. This can be very unsettling and potentially a big blowout, a big fight with the moon Mars aspect. And then finally, on Monday, November 28th, the moon in Aquarius makes a conjunction to Saturn in Aquarius and then goes void, of course, West Coast time. So the moon in Aquarius making that conjunction to Saturn in Aquarius, this can be a sudden and final breakup. Then the moon is void, of course. Now, the moon, before she changes signs, there'll be a certain amount of time, which varies. Sometimes it can be a few minutes, a few hours, a whole day, but there'll be a certain amount of time when the moon does not connect to any of the other planets. So she is said to be void, of course, off course, in the void. This is like being out there where you're just hanging out in the darkness, trying to figure it out. Nothing is happening. And the last aspect was that moon conjunct Saturn in Aquarius before she goes void. She's really frustrated here. She doesn't want to be pushed. And she doesn't want to be pushed in the area of some change of attitude and mindset that she needs and wants to take place. The moon is all about what we need, getting our needs met. And with this cosmic energy, the communication and being heard and being understood is where the frustration is. The moon is deep, she's nocturnal. The moon is not just about surface air Aquarius, and then that's it, and surfing over or skimming over the surface of something. For Tuesday, November 29th, Mercury during a moon void of course. So the moon went void of course. She's not changing signs until later on, which I'll get to. But on Tuesday, November 29th, during this moon void of course, we are having Mercury in its exile in Sagittarius, making an opposition aspect to Mars in Gemini, retrograde, ruled by Mercury. So in the void, in the darkness, Mercury making this separation, opposition, the opponent, the opposite, making that opposition to the warrior, Mars. Now, this can be a huge flare-up, conflict, fight over Mercury and Sagittarius saying, I am the law, laying down the law, and this is how it's going to be. Sagittarius, at its most challenging, can play God. It's the ninth house, the God house, Sagittarius. And so this Mercury in Sagittarius that just doesn't know when to quit with the words, with the laying down of the law, with the dictating of this is how it's going to be, coming into opposition with Mars frustrated to begin with. Mars is also a nocturnal planet. It is in a daytime diurnal sign, Gemini, retrograde. So if you are pulled into, or if something is attempting to drag you into a potentially very dangerous situation and argument, don't do that to yourself. This is why we want to know the cosmic energy, because the cosmos, the universe, is always trying to guide, protect, and love you. So this kind of an aspect is highlighted to say, don't do that to yourself. Walk away. Wait until the conditions are more favorable, because it's going to be a big, huge blowout, fight or argument where nothing comes of it anyway. This is during a moon void, of course. Negotiating a deal, talking about a contract, buying a big ticket item where you have to sign the lease, sign on the dotted line, not favorable. With the moon void, of course, Mercury in Sagittarius, opposition Mars in Gemini. Wait. Later on the 29th, then we have the moon entering mutable water Pisces. So the nocturnal moon going into a nocturnal sign, it softens. The emotions start to flow and express. Pisces, the moon, this is more fertile and abundant overall. Wait until the moon changes signs. Wait until the moon moves into Pisces. After the moon moves into Pisces, then we have Mercury in Sagittarius making a sextile aspect to Saturn in its domicile in Aquarius. So yes, that Mercury is still in its detriment, but at least there's some, we could say, backing off a little bit with that Mercury in Sag. Remember, whenever we look at Sagittarius, Jupiter, Jupiter does not recognize limitations. It just keeps going and going and going. That's part of the problem right there. On Wednesday, November 30th, we do have the second quarter moon at 8 degrees Pisces. Now, the moon, after the new moon, we had that beautiful new moon. The moon is now obviously, it's increasing in light. And when the moon gets to that second quarter crossover or threshold point, then we begin second quarter to full moon. The energy, the light is really amping up, and it's in mutable water. The second quarter is in mutable water, Pisces. So for November 30th, as we start to get more intense and things are amping up, this moon in Pisces making a square to the sun in Sagittarius. Pisces and Sagittarius, both ruled by Jupiter, the over-the-top kingly greater benefic planet of the zodiac. This is where the moon in Pisces making that square to the sun is saying, not little changes. We want big changes. Everything with Jupiter is, let's just see how far we can go, how big we can make it. And the potential is certainly there. When we look at Jupiter, we're looking at believing and having faith in something before it manifests in the physical, knowing it's going to happen. Now, the moon in Pisces also makes a sextile aspect to Uranus and Taurus, ruled by Venus. This is nice opportunity to consider the big changes that you want and need. Moon in Pisces wants it big. Then we have Venus in Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, making an opposition to Mars retrograde in Gemini. Now, Venus and Mars, these are the lovers, the eternal, sexual, romantic lovers in astrology. But we're looking at an opposition. This is a potential breakup because the Venus in Sag is saying, honey, we need more aliveness, adventure. We need change in the relationship. Making that opposition to Mars in Gemini, and Gemini is always about the change. Gemini gets bored so easily. They love the change. But the Mars is retrograde and it's frustrated there. So this Venus opposition Mars, it doesn't have to be a breakup. It depends how the communication is handled. We're looking at philosophical, big picture. Don't bother me with the details, Sagittarius. Making that opposition, the Venus opposition to Mars, with that Gemini ruled by Mercury, which is saying, yeah, but wait, we have to look at what it's going to take to get us into the future, the big changes, and a much better relationship. This is a big part of the second quarter crossover point as we move to the full moon coming up. On Thursday, Jupiter's day, we just have a chock full of aspects. We've got the moon still in Pisces making a square to Mars in Gemini, moon in Pisces making a square to Venus in Sagittarius, moon in Pisces making a square to Mercury in Sagittarius, moon in Pisces making a conjunction to Neptune in Pisces, moon in Pisces making a sextile to Pluto in Capricorn. Here we go with Mercury again, Mercury in Sagittarius making a square to Neptune in Pisces, Mercury in Pisces making a conjunction to Jupiter in Pisces, Mercury in Sagittarius making a sextile to Saturn in Aquarius, and then the moon finally changes signs and moves into cardinal fire Aries as we start to go into the evening and close out December 1st. So for this day, Moon conjunct Neptune in Pisces. That's the big vision, the big imagination, and also the big creativity. We love that. The moon in Pisces making the sextile to Pluto in Capricorn is the opportunity to really excavate and bring up the talents that are hidden in your shadow. The shadow gets a bad rap. It tends to be emphasized on the negative things, but all of your talents and abilities, your gold, that is also hiding in the Pluto and Capricorn shadow, the underworld. Bring those talents up and express them. This is what the moon in Pisces wants. Mercury in Sagittarius making a square to Neptune in Pisces. Now that's just outright deceit and lies and being misled. Be careful there. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. So be careful with that one there. The moon in Pisces makes a conjunction to Jupiter in Pisces, big over the top. Water flow, abundance, creativity. And remember, we're in the time of the year. We're in that mutable time of the year where we want changes as a way not only to move into the future, but to gather around you the things that you need and want that are very protective as we move towards the wintertime. When there is less light, there tends to be less energy. Yes, people push themselves anyway, but when you live in sync, in harmony with the natural world, it just makes it so much easier on yourself. And then we've got Venus in Sagittarius making a sextile to Saturn, saying, let's make a deal for the future. There is potential there, but things have to get really real and grounded. We're looking at Saturn, the realist. What's the bottom line and what is it going to take? Then the moon enters cardinal fire Aries. For Friday, Venus's day, the moon in Aries is really impatient, agitated. The moon in Aries is selfish. It's me first. It's pay attention to me. It can be nudgy in the sense of feeling insecure about the appearance, because Aries is all about the look. It's that it rules over the hair, the head, the image, fashion. So that moon in Aries on Venus's day, Friday, which is all about beauty and that kind of thing, can be feeling very irritated and insecure as far as feeling attractive, feeling pretty. And the moon in Aries does make a fire trine to the sun in Sagittarius, which wants changes. So if you're thinking about creating a new look, a new image, feeling insecure about your attractiveness, then make those changes. Moon in Aries makes a conjunction to Chiron in Aries, which is all about the unique identity and individuality, wanting to feel independent. For Saturday, December 3rd, start celebrating, because our Queen of Heaven, the jewel in the night sky, Venus, she reappears as an evening star. Yes, I know that Venus is a planet, but she is referred to as an evening star. You can't miss her. Besides the two luminaries, the sun and the moon, Venus shines so brightly. And there she is. She's been not visible for a while, but she reemerges. And when Venus is happy, everyone tends to be happy. When Venus is not happy, when the feminine Venus, when the queen is not happy, we feel it down here big time, and then some, because Venus is all about that law of attraction where you're just feeling good and centered and calm and comfortable and happy in your own skin, in your own body. We live so much from the neck up, everything being intellectualized and all about the brain. Venus is the bottom line with Venus is how do you feel in your own body? Loving your body, taking care of your body. Venus is also the happiness and enjoyment of life. We are in the holiday season, after all. And so this beautiful watcher in the night sky just reemerge and shine like the queen of heaven that she is. Now, along with that, we have Neptune stationing direct. So with Neptune stationing direct on the same day, December 3rd, that the queen of heaven, Venus, reemerges, Neptune stationing direct. And you give it about a day-ish when a planet stations, meaning it's standing still before it appears to change directions and speed from our vantage point. Neptune stationing direct is saying, move forward with the magic of believing, move forward with your dream, your vision, whatever it is that you're creating. And so when it comes to Venus, Neptune is the higher octave, the higher vibration, let's say, of Venus. It brings in a spiritual kind of love. Venus is love and romance, of course. Venus being very romantic and of the body and pleasure and happiness and sexuality. Neptune stationing direct is that higher vibration of compassion for everyone, love for everyone. Agape, as we say in Greek, agape love, the love that we hold for all of our brothers and sisters. It's a spiritual, higher kind of love. And so as we close out the week with Venus reemerging, can't wait, Neptune stationing direct, then this is bringing in a whole higher level of love and compassion. Thank you, everyone. I will see you all in the stars. Have a beautiful week. And we've got some really nice things going on this week. If we can just know when to quit and walk away from an argument, a situation where it's a lose-lose. Wait till the conditions are better before you get into it, or sign on the dotted line, that kind of thing. Thank you, everyone. I will see you all in the stars. Thank you.